out there. I can feel you now. I know that you're afraid. You're afraid of us. You're afraid of change. I don't know the future. I didn't come here to tell you how this is going to end. I came to tell you how it's going to begin. I'm going to hang up this phone, and then I'm going to show these people what you don't want them to see. A world where anything is possible. Where we go from there is a choice I leave to you.
I wish this didn't have to be another Will and Jada article, but the message was too necessary not to share on being with a woman who doesn't love you. And trust me, fellas, I've been there, right? This is real talk for men. As much as it may rip your heart out, know when to walk away. You can't prove yourself enough, convince someone enough, perform yourself into making someone love you or give you genuine desire. You can't do it. She either has it for you or she doesn't. And even though since the 80s, we were told that if you approached her with the perfect game, earned enough money, looked the right way, you were tall enough, you were dressed well enough, you took her to the right places enough, you knew enough of the right people, had the right amount of ambition and status, had enough degrees, owned the right car, had the right apartment/house located in the right area, practiced the right religion to the right level of intensity, fought white supremacy enough, and had the perfect sex game, it would somehow guarantee her love, affection, and loyalty. None of that can make her love you. The right man has to have little to none of that to secure her heart, while the wrong one can have it all and get nothing but contempt and disdain. For the love of your sanity and well-being, men, black men, please learn to walk away. Now, that could be a literal walking away, or that could be the withdrawal of your emotional labor. But what I'm trying to say is we have to move past this point where we serve simply because we're told to serve. It's time to move past that, fellas. It's time to move past the one-way framework of her telling you what you need to give her and what you need to just be happy with, whatever she chooses to give you. So again, in terms of the response to this diminishment, this underdevelopment of black men, it needs to operate on 3 planes. The first plane is personal. And this is why I read that portion, because I'm saying we need to actually take control of our emotional labor and withdraw it when appropriate. That's the first. The second one is in terms of work. In this last 2 weeks, I've had about 4 brothers reach out to me, all of whom work in spaces advocating for black boys. Some are schools, some are detention centers, there are all kinds of spaces. And they're finding that they are overwhelmed, not with working with the boys, but fighting administratively with black women who are in positions of authority above them, who are limiting access to resources, stymieing their efforts simply because they're black men. Using degrees as the line of difference in terms of treatment and career advancement. 3 or 4 just in the last 2 weeks. One today, as a matter of fact, who talked at length about the culture of his workplace, where the women are there and the overwhelming majority of them, nearly 100%, have college degrees. None of them have any particular training on working with boys, black boys at that. But they're in positions of authority and they only give access to upward mobility to each other. Very limited in consulting black men on what they're doing, regardless of the results. There's no assumption, there's no belief that black men themselves might have something to add about what will help improve these boys' lives. And yet blocking black men at every turn who have something to contribute on the matter. Right? So part of the solution is that you have to agitate and actually advocate in the spaces that you're in, whether it's at work, whether you're coaching a team, whatever you're doing, where you are in constant contact with Black boys or men, finding ways to advocate for them when no one else will. That's the second response we need to have. To use the resources available to you. Why do you think we do this show? I got 21,000 subscribers. I'm not 1.5 million. I'm not buying mansions with YouTube money. That's not what's happening here. I'm one of a few who are trying to help create the resources, the perspectives, the vocabulary terms, the concepts, introducing you to the works of others who've been doing this work in hopes that you can take this information and use it to advocate for Black men and boys in whatever space you're in, to whatever degree you can. I posted a symposium on my Institute website this past weekend that deals with Black male politics as the solution. You do have to pay for the symposium, but 99% of the stuff I put out online is free. Even on the Institute website, it's free. I have one class and 3 symposiums on the website that you have to pay for. Short of that, everything else is pretty much free, except for the occasional request for donation support. But obviously, I'm not about to turn the show off if you don't support, so I'm clearly interested in something beyond making this paper. I believe you should get paid for what you do. I believe you should make your money. I got a son to put in college. I'd like to do that. But here's the thing. My first priority is the upliftment of Black men and boys. That's the first one. And I'm not doing this shit for entertainment's sake, because I'm not an entertainer. There's far more people you can go watch that are far more charismatic and funny. I'm not much of that. I'm not. Never tried to be. Never suggested I was. Plenty of brothers that are far more entertaining, that know how to do that in a variety of ways. I ain't even trying to pretend I got that. I'm just using this microphone to put some ideas out in the world that I hope you might be able to use in the space you're in, wherever that is. Because I'm not really confident that that's happening to the degree I think it needs to be. So I'm adding my piece to this to help. And I'm hoping you'll do the same. So I'm saying that the second solution is to do that in the spaces you're in. And if there's no space that you're in that applies to this, put yourself in one. Coach a team. Be a big brother. Whatever it needs to be in a space where you can advocate for Black boys and men in some way, shape, or form, because nobody else is coming for us. Nobody. People are dying in the street and motherfuckers are drinking wine off of it. Nobody gives a fuck but us. Do something. The last solution is structural. This is why I'm always talking about the Black male political agenda. That's why I did the recent symposium on the Institute website. Black male politics is the answer. At the end of the day, it's not about, it doesn't have to be limited to just voting or creating a bill that hopefully will get through Congress. That's not the limitation of what politics are. It is the formation and mobilization of a block of people that are hard set on a task and are willing to collaborate and extend resources to one another to find new ways to agitate, to create opportunities. This is so nascent. This is so early in the process that I'm hesitant to even give it form, because there's so many people involved in this that can offer something, that I want to hear what those offers are so we can shape what we can do. There's possibility here. I got brothers that are reaching out to me that are college presidents, some who are doctors at medical centers. I got brothers who are social service workers. Some are janitors. Some are homeless. But there's resources at every level. And if you've ever seen the film Spook Who Sat by the Door, you should know what I'm talking about. I don't care where you are or what you're doing. There's always something that you can bring to bear. Might be a perspective, might be something you witnessed, might be the abilities you have, might be your training, might be your position. At the end of the day, there's always something we all can do to uplift the state we find ourselves in. And that's what I'm challenging you to do. So the 3 levels of response I said that need to at least happen, I'm not limiting it to those 3, is the personal response in our lives, even our relationships, right? The at work response and the structural response. To create a mobilized group that are willing to do whatever it takes to bring to bear and improve quality of life for Black men and boys.